Welcome to the Asbestos Knowledge Empire.
What does asbestos management mean to you?
I used to really struggle with the asbestos management at my site, but now it's a breeze.
It used to be really expensive. I was paying loads, but now I've got my asbestos power team in place. It's so much easier.
Asbestos can be a pain in the arse if not handled right.
We had to stop the job because asbestos was discovered. Now we don't have that problem.
Asbestos management is easier than you think. Asbestos management. Be proactive, not reactive. Think about asbestos first, not last.
And now your hosts, best-selling authors and asbestos experts, Ian Stone and Neil Munro.
Welcome to the Asbestos Knowledge Empire. My name's Neil Munro.
Hi, I'm Ian Stone. So today we're talking about PVA as an encapsulant for asbestos. Yay or nay? Can we use it? Can't we use it?
Yay or nay?
Exactly, yeah. Is it any good? I mean, what is PVA?
What does that stand for?
Well, it stands for Polyvinyl Acetate.
Isn't that stuff that we used to use at school?
That's basically it. It's a glue-like substance. It's wood glue, white glue, carpenter's glue, or school glue. Exactly that.
So is it a glue-like substance, or is it actually glue?
It's actually a glue. Yeah, it's just a white glue. I mean, that's how everybody will probably remember it. It's the white glue you use.
Sticking stuff at school.
Sticking crap on paper and wood glue and...
It's quite a safe glue, isn't it? It doesn't burn your skin or anything like that.
You wouldn't want to drink it.
No. No, but it's not like you're going to end up sticking your eyes together and your fingers together, because it does wash out quite easily, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's water-based. So that's why it's like the... like you say, giving some super glue to a load of 5-year-olds would be a bit carnage.
Yeah, it's not going to end well, is it?
So yeah, that's what we're talking about, really.
Yeah, why is this relevant to the asbestos industry? It's quite a sort of an old
It's a bit of a sticking point.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pun. There was no pun intended then. But yeah, no, it is a sticking point in the industry, and it has been over the years.
Yeah, historically it used to be used all the time, didn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of the go-to because I think it was cheap, it's easy, it doesn't make a mess, you can clean it up quite easily.
When we came into the industry, I remember you weren't really allowed to use it. There's only certain circumstances, and we'll kind of cover that slightly further into the podcast. But I remember contractors trying to use it all the time to make their enclosures.
Gets rid of the fibres.
Yes.
Keeps everything...
mist in the air with PVA.
Yeah, and the reason for that is to basically stick everything down. So if they've just ragged a load of asbestos insulating board and there's amosite floating in the air, one of the quickest, easiest ways that you can get that fibre levels down, you've got negative pressure running, they give it a quick once over, hoover up, perhaps not clean everything. Well, if you PVA the hell out of everything, so all the sheeting gets covered in it, you mist in the air, that'll cling onto any fibres, they'll all fall together and it'll all stick and dry.
Yeah, which you don't really want.
No, it's a cheat. Basically, it's a cheat, it's a con. So when the asbestos consultant goes into the enclosure to run the air test, well, the air test is more likely to pass because everything's stuck down.
Yeah.
Whereas...
And this was pre-brushing.
Yeah, exactly.
Disturbance.
It was. There was disturbance required, but not to the level of brushing that is now.
Yeah,
I mean...
It was just air movement, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Air movement. And, I mean, there was cases of people filling up bags with air and wafting them around, or taking a clipboard in and wafting it around, or banging on the sheeting with your hand. And that was about it.
So if you PVA'd stuff, okay, you might not liberate the fibres by doing that sort of disturbance, but definitely future occupation and future working within those areas, PVA would liberate those fibres into the air again. And
it degrades over time. I mean, that's it. One thing using the PVA on the polythene, that got the contractors a quick and easy pass.
Yeah, and one thing is the polythene would be removed as part of the deconstruction of the enclosure, but all the other surfaces...
Exactly, it's a no-no from that point of view, but all right, that's okay. I mean, it's not, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whereas, like you say, the other surfaces, it's no good for. I mean, imagine a boiler room. If you PVA the brickwork, for the same reason, everything sticks to it, happy days, you get your clearance and it passes and everything's all good. But then over the next few weeks, months, years of people entering that boiler room in and out, the PVA does degrade, doesn't it? It's kind of more susceptible to things than other encapsulants, and that's why it's kind of no good for that scenario. I mean,
definitely. If you remember going back to your school days using that type of glue, I remember getting it on my hands and you could literally just rub it off.
Yeah.
It would peel off. That's with it neat. Where we're talking about using it in asbestos enclosures, it's been watered down so it's sprayable, so it's even less stronger, it's diluted, it's weaker,
diluted, and
therefore it can easily be removed with a little bit of water, slight rubbing.
Just literally brushing past it after a couple of years because it goes flaky.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, that's a very key point of being watered down, and that's it. Because, I mean, imagine if you sprayed wood glue, like PVA in its actual form, it's gloopy. It would provide a better seal, but it's never sprayed in that form. It is watered down. It's really thin.
Yeah.
And that is the issue.
And the trouble with that, you can't really build the layers either with that, because it dries see-through basically, so it makes the surface shiny.
Yeah, and that is another thing as well. You can't see what has been encapsulated.
Yeah.
What is sealed and what isn't.
You've already got a shiny surface, it'll just look shiny still.
I mean, the problem with PVA, it is known to degrade over time. Fungi, algae, yeasts, lichens, bacteria, they can all affect it and just degrade it while it's in situ. That's the big problem with it.
Yeah, and if you're looking at places it would be sprayed, boiler rooms, plant rooms, they're susceptible to heat changes.
Yeah, really hot to really cold steam,
pipes, condensation, etc. If they're in basements and stuff like that.
Yeah, water ingress through the walls.
Yeah, water penetration through the walls. So yeah, it's definitely not the go-to material to use for sealing anything to do with asbestos, and even actually using it on any asbestos works.
Yeah, I mean, it can be used as part of the clearance procedure if you've got a dusty enclosure like a dirt floor or a stone wall that you're never going to seal it because it's old, and rubbing that wall will just keep generating dust.
Yeah, exactly, and that is kind of to get the 4-stage clearance passed. Obviously, we need a countable slide, and if there's lots of debris and dust being generated by a surface, you are on occasions allowed to do that sort of seal, aren't you?
Yeah, but that is the only situation.
Really?
So going back to like the point of the podcast, using PVA as an encapsulant, the answer is no, definitely not.
Yeah.
You can't spray something that's asbestos and say that is suitable for managing and leaving in situ and moving forwards.
Yeah, you're not going to add any sort of protection to those fibres or whatever it is, debris, encapsulant.
Not for any length of time, not for any length of period. And that's no good if you're trying to manage your asbestos.
Yeah.
That is when you need to use like sprayable vapour barrier coatings.
I have seen some contractors use PVA as a primary seal.
Yeah.
So a primary seal prior to encapsulating asbestos insulating boards or...
Yeah, and that can be good because then the light spray from the hand sprayers can then form a seal before they paint it, which again, that's a good kind of risk reduction for exposure.
Yeah, it sort of kind of takes to the boards a bit better sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you wallpaper a wall, you need to do that kind of...
Yes, it's basically so the glue doesn't absorb too quickly into the actual surface.
Yeah, it's like blinding the wall, isn't it?
Yeah.
First with the seal, definitely. So yeah, I think that covers it.
Yeah, from that point of view. So what would be a good alternative though?
It's encapsulating with proper materials. So, I mean, one of the industry trade ones is like ET150.
Yeah.
That kind of paint. They can be sprayed, it can be applied with brushes and rollers. The finish is never fantastic because it's thicker than a normal paint.
Yeah.
But again, like comparing that to a normal paint, you wouldn't want to use normal paint. Yes, you get a better finish, but then you have the similar problems where you don't get the same protection because the vapor barrier paints, they dry with like a rubberized finish. So once they are dry and in situ, if somebody does knock it or walk past it, it's got that kind of rubberized finish and it takes a bit more impact than, like I say, normal paint, and definitely way more than what PVA ever would.
So definitely if you have got any sort of removal projects that are ongoing or planning and the contractors are talking about PVA, definitely question it and definitely question the uses of that to see if it is adequate for what you're going to end up with.
Yeah, because that's the point at the end of the day. It might get the job done and you might get your certificate, but in the long run, is that what you actually really want with? Does that suit you and your site needs?
There may be occasions where it is acceptable, but definitely question it. And if you do need any advice, you know where to find us. Facebook community, that's probably a good place to get hold of us. Come and join us, Asbestos Knowledge Empire.
Thanks for listening. Remember, asbestos first, not last.